Hey guys, Barros and Ramos, and this Sunday the Miami Dolphins are hosting the Arizona Cardinals. This October 27th game is at 1 p.m. Game will be at Hard Rock Stadium. They are welcoming a 3-4 Arizona Cardinals team who's 1-2 on the road. Meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins are 2-4 and 1-2 on at home. And big freaking news: Uno's back. Tua's back. He's going to be starting for this matchup against the Arizona Cardinals. And without further ado, let's just get straight into the game preview. I'm going to try to make this a quick one just because as of late I've been making them pretty long. So we're going to fly through it a bit here, but let's jump straight into the gambling lines. We have the Dolphins are favored by -4 in terms of the spread. Money line is -210 for the Miami Dolphins. Plus 175 for the Arizona Cardinals. Over-under set at 46.5. According to ESPN's matchup predictor, the Arizona Cardinals are favored at 51.4% to the Dolphins 48.2%. Game time weather is looking like for 81 degrees with scattered showers. Let's see. It would be tough to kind of get your foot back in the game with in unideal weather conditions, but it is what it is. Aside from that, standings: Seattle leads the NFC West 4-3. Right behind them is the Arizona Cardinals at 3-4. Los Angeles Rams got a big Thursday night win, now 3-4. San Fran at the bottom of the division at 3-4, and they play a tough Dallas Cowboys team. As far as the AFC East goes, Dolphins are still in second place. The Jets cannot seem to buy themselves a win or trade themselves a win, whatever it may be. But Buffalo still reigns supreme, 5-2 at the top. Dolphins 2-4, Jets 2-5, and then the Patriots 1-6. Big freaking news this week. This guy's back. Numero uno, Tua. He returned to practice officially this week. I think it was about Tuesday or so. He was, just doing some walkthroughs. Wednesday, he was actually really out there practicing, throwing the football around. And then just as of today, around almost 12 o'clock, he was announced that he passed the concussion protocol and he will be starting this upcoming game against the Arizona Cardinals. Nothing but great news for this Dolphins team. The timeline ended up working out well. The whole expectation was that he would, be back by this game. That although it was a big time concussion, and he was sidelined for what is it now? He's been out for more than 4 weeks. He got hurt week 2, and we're in week 8, so he's been out for almost 6 weeks. And that is including the bye. So, it's not great to have him out for that long, especially that the Dolphins were only able to muster up one win between the time of him being out and the time of him returning, and played 5 games in that span. But, it is, they played 4 games in that span. It is what it is. 2-4, and you're playing an Arizona Cardinals team who, everyone's dealing with injuries. But let's talk about injuries. We have Dennis Gardeck, linebacker, on injury reserve for the Arizona Cardinals. Roy Lopez, defensive tackle, was confirmed out with an ankle injury. Darius Robinson, defensive end, on injured reserve with a calf injury. Sean Murphy-Bunting, cornerback, is listed as out with a neck injury. Kevin Beecham, offensive tackle, is listed as questionable. And then, just to keep it within the month of October, Bilal Nicholas, defensive tackle, on injured reserve with an undisclosed injury. And then Matt Prater, kicker, is on injured reserve with a knee injury. And then last but not least, Will Hernandez, offensive guard, is on injured reserve with a knee injury. Other notable injuries is B.J. Ujulari, linebacker. He's been on injured reserve since training camp. He has a knee injury. But aside from that, that is it for the Arizona Cardinals. For the Miami Dolphins, Tua. Right now it's listed as him on injured reserve. He's off of injured reserve. He's cleared the concussion protocol, and he will be starting this Sunday. So that's huge, huge news for this Dolphins team, who it's been very questionable how this offense has been working without him. And it wasn't working great with him in the first 2 weeks, but I'm expecting a whole new turn of the page, new chapter, whatever you want to call it. I think this offense will be humming and be completely different from what we've seen in the last couple of weeks. So that's something I'll get into in this game preview. But moving forward, we have Tyreek Hill, wide receiver, listed as questionable for foot injury. He was going around saying, fantasy managers, start me up, make sure don't have me on your bench this week. I am expecting him to play, especially with the return of Tua. To add on to injuries, we have Storm Doug, cornerback, listed as doubtful. Tyler Huntley, quarterback, is on injured reserve with his right shoulder injury. Let's see how long he stays on the roster, given Tua's return. But I expect the Dolphins to kind of try to keep him on the roster. Let's see what happens there. But I think the time that he did serve as a Dolphins quarterback, it slowly but surely got better and better. And it wasn't huge increments, it was slight increments. But I really would have loved to see what would have happened if we had a full Tyler Huntley game in that Colts game. I think the Dolphins would have been able to come out with a win. That's just my thinking. Kader Kohou, cornerback, is out with a neck injury. This just happened today with Zach Sealer, defensive tackle. He's listed as out. He ruptured his eye socket today in practice. It really sucks because I love Zach Sealer and I think he's a huge contributor to this defense, and he's one of those unsung hero type of guys. Went from undrafted, found his way on a roster in Baltimore, got cut, and then found a new lease on life and new lease on his football life with the Miami Dolphins. And it hurts to see him out of the lineup because each and every game, it seems like Zach Sealer is making a big time play for this Dolphins defense, and that is something that's going to concern me in this matchup. Moving forward, we also have Braxton Berrios, wide receiver, on injured reserve with a knee injury. Blake Ferguson, long snapper, out with on personal reason. And then that's pretty much it. No update on Bradley Chubb, still listed as out. All right, so what you guys came here for, the game preview. Listen, huge news today with Tua coming back. And then to top it off with some unfortunate news, Zach Sealer, breaking his orbital socket was not, cherry on top of this return for Tua. I'm hoping for the best. Fingers crossed. Hoping Tua has a phenomenal game coming back because it's been very lackluster, boring, and what's going on with this team type of viewing experience with this offense. So I think with his return, I think you can kind of hope this Dolphins team gets back to normalcy with, being one of the top offenses in the NFL. You can kind of already book it that the Dolphins are not going to finish with one of the top, at least top 3 offenses in the NFL. I think they can maybe scratch the surface of top 5, but I think they will be within the top 10 by the time of the end of the year, should everything be going well. But, that's a fingers crossed mentality and hope for the best. But, yeah, Tua's return should be big, should be, very impactful to this team. And, they're facing not the best Arizona Cardinals team, but the Cardinals have something to fight for because they're right there in the thick of it, of their NFC West divisional race, and everyone there is separated by less than a game. So you can bet your butt that this Arizona Cardinals team is going to come to fight. That is, unless Kyler Murray is playing Call of Duty as we speak, because it did just release it. That is neither here or there. I know it's all jokes, but jokes aside, this Cardinals team can find ways to win. We saw it this past Monday night. I don't know if you guys were watching that Monday night game between them and the Chargers. It was on ESPN Plus. I know probably a lot of people didn't really care for it anyways. But, them being the next opponent for the Dolphins, was doing a little bit of viewing. And they have some key contributors on offense. And it is a big time that this Dolphins defense, stifles their offense. So that goes to my first key to victory. Number 1, you want to stop the 3-headed monster that is Kyler Murray, James Conner, and I'm throwing him into the mix. He hasn't been a massive contributor, but his presence is menacing, and it is Marvin Harrison Jr. If you can really limit those 3 guys and make other people beat you, I think the Dolphins have a really good chance, just based on the defense alone, to win this matchup. Now, Kyler Murray is not going to be out there and slinging the ball and making stupid mistakes because that's not really his play style. He's only has 3 interceptions on the season to 9 touchdowns. But, maybe he forces some throws to Marvin Harrison Jr. Maybe, James Conner loses the ball on the fumble. Like, I think this Dolphins team needs to, one, stifle that three-headed monster type of unit for this Arizona Cardinals team, and then secondly, force turnovers. This Dolphins team has been able to force turnovers in most of these games, but they haven't been able to make anything up of it because the offense has been so lackluster. And that was even with Tua in the lineup. And this is not me just like saying, Tua's going to come and save us. But I think we have a new lease on life. We're 2-4. And we have a chance to at least fight within the AFC. I don't know if the AFC East is going to be in, reach by the time the season is coming to an end. But right now, Dolphins are sitting at the 10th seed, and the 7th seed is only 2 wins ahead of them. So I'm expecting the Dolphins to make up a lot of ground in these next couple of weeks before the season gets even tougher. So not off to a great start, but not in the worst possible position. A win last week would have been big time because then you only would have been one game out of that last wild card spot. But it is what it is. That being said, offensively, you already know who I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about that guy. That guy right there. Yeah, we need to get Tua comfortable and just in a rhythm early and often. Quick slants. Not too many screens because I hate the freaking screens. But quick slants, quick reads. Just get the ball to your playmakers. Get them active because they have to knock some rust off too. They barely even got thrown to in the last game. So I think if you involve Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle early and often in this matchup, which I am imagining this Arizona Cardinals team is preparing for and expecting that type of mentality, still do it anyways. This offense has been lackluster without Tua in it, and it was a little bit lackluster with Tua in it anyways, so I think they need to just go at it and go hard. So attack the trio of Kyler Murray, James Conner, and Marvin Harrison JR. Force turnovers, and make Tua get involved early and often. And please, Tua, do not get out of the pocket. Become a pocket quarterback. Scramble only if you absolutely need to. And make smart scrambles. Do not run headfirst into defenders. If that's all the case, Dolphins can have themselves a good run. They can have themselves a good game here and find themselves in the winning column for the first time in a while. So aside from that, that concludes this game preview. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Quick one this week. Want to get this out to you guys as soon as possible because I'm really amped up, as you guys can tell. And I'm just excited. I want this Dolphins team to start winning again. 4 losses this early on in the season was not the expectation. At least 4 wins was more so the expectation. And it just really sucks because if you even look back at it, the Dolphins are 2 key, I wouldn't say defensive plays because there's one key defensive play that won us the game in the Jaguars game. That was really the difference. And then the fact that Jalen Polk was called out of bounds on his last-second touchdown is really the reasons that the Dolphins even have 2 wins. So realistically, the Dolphins could be staring down the barrel of an 0-6 season and be completely defeated. I think things will go a different way if that was the case. But hey, neither here nor there. Dolphins 2-4. They're hosting the Arizona Cardinals. Both teams have something to prove. And I'm excited to see Uno be back in the lineup, suiting up, and throwing some dots to hopefully Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys are excited because clearly my heart's about to pound out of my chest. That pretty much wraps up this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one.